really good. Lel. Okay. Welcome to Overwatch and welcome to the All-Stars. Hopefully people are picking up on I drew this from memory, not from reference, and I made it look slightly too scary and slightly too ogreish. So yeah. Lel. Right, we're going to be looking at the All-Star game, which is not the talent match, it is the match with all the pros in it. Because they actually do play some sort of, they play some semi-meta stuff here and there, and then they'll play some not meta stuff elsewhere. It's a really interesting little series. It's a lot of fun. It's very light-hearted, especially towards the end as players relaxed.
Welcome to Overwatch.
It was really cool. It's very, very enjoyable.
You're an all-star. Get your
Good lad,
game on,
Duff.
go play.
Good lad. So it's like, you know, the game starts, and honestly, this sort of lineup where you're seeing like the Doomfist, you're seeing the Ana Genji being teased. This hex is very loud in my ears. It should also clear chat off the screen. As much as I love having you here, chat. Let me know in the YouTube comments, by the way. Hey, thank you, Komaraski. 12 months, Jesus, that's 1 year. Let me know if you want chat on or off, if you're watching this on YouTube. If it's distracting or not, but it does add some context sometimes to things I say. Yeah, like these team comps, like this is not actually that super radical. Bizarrely, I'd honestly say like the weirdest part of this team comp is probably the Zenyatta. Like Sombra Genji's actually pretty potent right now. Anna's definitely made a comeback, especially with like how powerful the Rodent is and how powerful the Sombra, how powerful the Genji is. Sorry, like these synergize very nicely with each other. Diva still very, very good, still very, very useful. Doomfist actually very good against stuff like goats and first point King's Row. You can sort of anticipate some goats play. Mono tank is kind of unorthodox. I'm not gonna say it isn't. Like this is kind of unique, having the Tracer, Genji, and Doomfist all at once. But hey, whatever, run with it. So they are playing some like meta heroes. What that means is kind of cool. It means that you can actually watch this and sort of contextualize what these people are doing. So for example, just to sort of piggyback on the point that was made towards the start, and I like this aggression from Atlantic Division, but like you can watch stuff like, oh, well, how is Sombra getting through this choke point? Like, this is actually a really useful thing to learn. Oh, she just goes through the cinema and is going to come out high ground and probably rotate around here and set up for a hack. Very aggressive rollout from Atlantic. I love it. Just looking for another kill. But actually, this is where, like... Yeah, this is where the hamster is actually really good at just barreling through aggression. Hamster. Wrecking Ball is an interesting hero, right? From a... wow. The 452 volcanoes in the Ring of Fire equal the environmental kill scored by the specific... Wow, these statistics. Also, I'm on the OJ today. Orange and mango juice. I actually really like this stuff. It's super nice. It's very sweet, but it's not too acidic, which is sort of my problem with most orange juices. Yeah, no, this is like a really, really nice sort of little counter move by Fish. Your team dives in, and just instantaneously, everyone just gets wrecked. They get riggedy wrecked. It's just a nightmare situation. Oh, dearie me, this dive went badly. Could have perhaps used a second tank, perchance. A Diva to scoop up some of this damage instead of maybe the Tracer or maybe the Genji. But hey, high risk, high reward. And guess what? It doesn't work out. Silver linings, I suppose, would be that Fleda kind of did nothing. Fleda got absolutely zilch at the moment, and they could go for a retake if they're feeling bold, but they're not, so they're just going to back away. Love the aggression. Absolutely love the aggressive play. Fish, you're going to have a kind of a tough time here. Like, Doomfist is actually pretty good at bouncing out the Wrecking Ball, and Anna causes some problems for the Wrecking Ball as well. This is stuff I love to see, though. Like, as someone who's been playing a little bit of Wrecking Ball in Ranked, like, finding incidental little bits of damage like this seem to be really important and really, oh god, really key to playing this hero well, right? The ability to go through on an engage and hit two people with the actual swing is actually more of a big deal than you would think it would be, because it all combos together for some nice damage. Like, if we watch Ark's hit points, let's see what actually happens. Oh, sorry, Sabiob's hit points, yeah, it takes a good 50, and that's just going to help confirm some kills and help turn that into a kill, especially with the slam coming through, and then you come through with even more damage, you follow up, and you start getting these kills really quickly. So it's pretty nice. Oh, dearie me. He's already dead, Carpe. Fisher is gone all the way to spawn, but, you know, they got to clean this out. They got to clean this out. I mean, it's going to be tough as well, but hey, they just scoop him out, I guess. Fish is just going to pressure the back line. He's going to have to run away. He's fine. I was going to say it's going to be tough because I thought that pulse bomb was for the Doomfist, but no, it's actually for Giguri. Just trying to keep track of who's playing what. Yeah, so I was going to say, like, oh, well, if Tracer's actually a really nice counter to the Doomfist, it's just very difficult for the Doomfist to actually deal with the Tracer. But no, just gets wrecked by Giguri. Also, important to mention, fun fact in this series, Giguri gets her first Overwatch League win. So congratulations, and well deserved. It's kind of unfortunate that Giguri is on Shanghai Dragons, but it's nice. It's nice that she finally collects one of those. So again, like, this is still relatively early, and we're seeing the tryharding come out, right? Like, the enemy's playing super aggro dive. Again, I will mention this throughout, right? If it is good enough for Flatter, it is good enough for you. If the enemy team is playing a aggro dive, like the amount of ranked games I've had lately where it's like, you know, oh, the Tracer and Genji are destroying our backline, someone do something. I'm playing, like, you know, Zenyatta and Ana, and we're getting killed in the backline. Someone help us. It's like, well, let's just get a Brig. You know, just get a Brig. Brig is really good against these heroes. If they're playing even one of Genji or Tracer, of Tracer or Genji or even Doom, like, this is actually really, really nice. Brig will actually work super well. So it's no great shock to see it coming out. Also, Hex is going to say something during this cast that's going to tilt me off the face of the earth. It's going to come later. But I will also say this, that his Wrecking Ball is main tank slot worthy. You can play him as an off tank, but he is definitely main tank slot in my mind. So yeah. And the Brig's gonna be pretty good. I'd still say, like, I prefer Brig in, like, the DPS or off tank slot than the support slot. I'm not the biggest fan of, like, double support where one of those is a Brig. It can it'll work in ranked pro level games. I'm definitely not a fan. So here we see a meeting of the Genjis. Like, let's outline this team fight, right? How does this team fight function? I mean, Pacific have burned a lot of resources going into this one. Atlantic have all the advantages. They're just sort of down and out of position, but, like, full aggressive engage that doesn't get stopped up should be the way that Atlantic win this. But that's a really big kill, because it also just denies the Dragon Blade. Ryu Jae-hong actually survives that somehow. He's just placed slightly off, I imagine. Actually difficult to even live that long against the Doomfist ult as Ana. So very nice by Ryu Jae-hong. It's good to see him back on the Ana as well. I mean, she is the disappointing part about Overwatch League is this. It's like, oh, well, Ryu Jae-hong should be good now because Ana's in meta. It's like, well, they're not going to play anything for like 6 months. There's going to be patches. So who knows what's going to be meta by the time we get to Season 2. Again, I love the aggression out of Fisher. The Nano Winston, extremely strong at the moment. If you are playing Ana, feel free to Nano boost your Winstons. Even with using Primal Rage, like, general logic is that you don't Primal Rage when you use Nano Boost. Even with it now, with the current, on live at the very least, with the current patch, the damage that he does when landing is still ridiculous, so you will just continue to splat people. So always keep an eye on that. So feel free to do that. Very aggro minefield. This is something that I've sort of paying close attention to, is how do pro-level Hammonds or high-level Hammonds use their mines? Like, how does this actually work? What do you actually get value with? And this seems like a particularly good one, which is just, again, goes right over the entire team. I think the only issue I have with this minefield is it might be too high up, but honestly, it might still work, because you basically are going to cover this entire area. Right, the higher up you put the mines out, the bigger they spread to a certain radius. Like, they have like is this like a parabolic? I don't know. It's a x squared graph. Yeah, it falls like this, right? So if you are high up, it will actually spread further. So if you drop down and then minefield, it's going to be more clustered, this is going to be more spread out. But it goes over the team, which I think is the big thing. You want to get nice and far over the team, then use it. So the enemy has to, like, fall back into space that's going to be occupied by mines, and incidents like this end up happening, where someone will just brush up to one and just explode. It's always good to see Gesture back on the Winston. He is extremely good on that hero. Well, probing. If we do this one quickly, then we will take a look at China. China's Contenders Finals. Nano Blade. And just sound barrier. And honestly, I'm surprised that he's not even focusing anything down. Like, standard convention with Nano Blade versus sound barrier. And this, is this the buffed one? Yes, this is the buffed one. This looks like 750. I can't count the nodules, but like if that's 200, 400, 600. It might actually be the 500. It should be the 500. Like, you can definitely still kill at least one target through, especially with a Nano Blade. You will still do enough damage to get something with it. So it's interesting to see how defensively he played that one out. I mean, it is Kareev, like, technically a support player, but Kareev has been known to flex onto DPS all the time. And, again, all of these guys, like, their worst hero is still going to be better than probably 99.9% of people's best heroes. So don't just disregard, oh, well, it's Kareev. He doesn't play Genji. Like, he's still a really good player and knows what he's doing. So it's worth keeping an eye on. Especially as we get Celia and Celia throughout the series, don't disregard pros when they're playing on heroes that they perhaps don't play all the time. You could also take a look at the talent show match. I really like the talent show match. This should just be an easy cleanup, by the way. There's nothing here. So yeah, I really like the talent show match. One thing I really liked about the talent show match that I hope the pros that casted it, Bishu and Custer, that I hope they appreciate is, like, it was so fun watching them cast. It was so fun watching them cast. Like, two extremely knowledgeable guys. Custer, very polished on, you know, his public image, on his presentation. He can talk fluently and freely in front of an audience. He's kind of very good at doing that. He's talking about a topic that he understands extremely well, and he still gets lost, still gets flustered, still trips up all over the place. And it's like, yeah, casting's pretty hard. It's pretty difficult to do well, especially Overwatch. So watching him say stuff like, yeah, I don't have any idea what's going on, it's like, yeah, heck off, basically, people who criticize. But they were, like, considering, you know, I imagine they didn't have a huge amount of practice going into it, they were still pretty goddamn good. I still need to watch that. It is very worth watching. It is a lot of fun. It is a hell of a lot of fun. So Atlantic teasing an offensive lineup that is aggressive as hell. It is the Beyblade, but I can't actually remember because I had this on an opposite screen. So I want to see this Reaper. I want to see the Reaps. It is the Reaps. It's one Reapy boy. This is part of the reason actually why I kind of want to grind out a lot of Sombra, by the way, because one of the things that I personally want to work on is my comms. Like, actually just feeling comfortable talking in games a lot more and just being, like, being a little bit more short quality, being a bit more active in comms, because when I'm streaming, I generally am very quiet because I'm more focused on chat and stuff like that and focusing on talking to the chat than I am talking to my own team. Sombra, you can't afford to do this, and this is sort of one of the big pieces of value that Sombra will give you, is she will give you safe information consistently. The moment this team comp runs out, the Sombra has already called out that, oh, well, they're running, like, Reaper, Reinhardt, McCree, okay, and then you can start formulating a plan of what you want to do. Like, Ryu Jae Hong knows that he's going to have to be extremely careful on this Doomfist against this team lineup. And perhaps a high-intensity aggro engage might need, you know, some respect, shall we say. Works out. And honestly, like, the hack on the McCree is really nice here. Notice that she's not that Fleda is not hacking a health pack during all of this. Right? Like, it is the first... Again, if Fleda stopped to hack a health pack during this time, he wouldn't be in position to scout, he wouldn't be in position... And this is just me harping on an earlier point that was mentioned. He's not flipping a health pack that people aren't actually going to use in this first fight. No, that first hack is going on to a target that is actually quite valuable, because the flashbang would dictate a lot of value in this fight. Right? The ability to flashbang either the Hammond or the Doomfist would be pretty valuable here, but they don't get that. Art gets killed. Really nice start for Pacific. So, just harping on it. Not letting that point go. There's the Brig. Straight away. So Brig is going to help control this a little bit. Like, Brig against and Pine actually on the Widow as well. That's actually a really nice swap because there's nothing that can really challenge Pine if he's like playing sort of high ground up here and then high ground up here, like on top of this thing, and then he can just move around like over here and over here. It's going to be kind of tough to challenge him too much, especially if the team peels for him ever so slightly. And with Gaguri on the not with Gaguri, actually no, with Carpe of all people on the Diva, this should help peel for him. So it's a nice little swap. I was making a point, but I've totally forgotten it. Sabi will be swapping to the Crete. A lot of hit scan power. Taking it steady. Actually letting him get surprisingly far in. Like, oh dearie me. Oh, I think I was going to talk about Wrecking Ball counters. Like, Brigitte alone does not counter Wrecking Ball super well, and Ana alone doesn't either, but when you start stacking a number of things that will do it, like, one stun isn't really actually enough to deal with him. Sombra is a really good counter. May actually is a pretty good counter as well, because the thing with, like, a Sombra hack is it disables him for a really long time, so he just sort of stands there and gets killed. The issue with stuff like the sleep darts and with flashbangs is that they only last a really brief time, or like Brigitte stuns. Really brief time, and it's actually short enough that he just gets out. He just still survives it, and especially with stuff like Ana healing on him, he will just bounce out and be fine. So, be a little bit careful. Don't just assume that, oh, I have a stun, therefore I beat Wrecking Ball. It doesn't quite work like that. Nice. Oh, this is bold. Oh, I like it. Look at this. Ooh, spicy. It's like it's a hotel with a Brig and an Ana in it, and he just goes. See, if I did this, I would get slept on the way in, stunned, and then just destroyed, and then, you know, report home for feeding. Like, but he does it, and it works. It just all goes his way. Clearly, I am the scrub. So yeah, this is where, like, you know, Atlantic are actually, they're starting to play a little bit more serious, although Carpe has actually moved off the off-tank to the Sombra of their own, but they will be playing like into EMP. This is where it actually starts to get really dangerous with the Sombra. Just like with previous iterations of when Sombra's been in meta, like once you can start getting that EMP, you basically like use EMP to turn that into a fight win. Like, it is a fight winning ult. It's extremely good when the enemy has no like good counter to it, but you can also use it to just like nullify things like, you know, Transcendence can't really stop you because if you EMP the Zen, you just kill him and then you win off the back of that. It really easily snowballs into one team fights for pro level players at the very least. So it's a very, very potent ultimate. So it basically gives you a free fight win, and then all you need after that is kind of just a separate win condition. You know, then next fight you use Nano Doomfist and you win the fight, or you use a Transcendence and you win that fight, and then you cycle in the next EMP and you sort of just use that economy and you just win through economy, basically, that you use this EMP to just collect a free team fight win. It's strong enough to do that on its own, and then you just need one or two more ults to cycle, and you will just continually beat the enemy out through economy. And it sort of forces the enemy to do something a little bit clever or a little bit unorthodox to actually win that fight out. So it's very, very nice. It's also kind of interesting, like, how ineffective Gesture looked there. Like, that's really surprising. Did he get hacked? No. Oh, yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Really nice job by Flatter. And honestly, like, if you want to know how to play with Sombra, because I think this is a piece of education that everybody freaking needs, now that she is going to be played probably a lot more, even in the next season. Best advice I can give you is that if you see something that is hacked, shoot it. Right, if you see something that has been hacked, please just use that, treat it like a Discord orb, and just shoot that target. Oh, the stun combo sets up for the hack, and that is dead Fisher. This might be a little bit too late with the EMP now. Hacked Brigittas especially, please, for the love of God, just shoot them. It feels like that might have been too late. Oh, the stun doesn't quite convert. Ugh. Just gets him out of range of that. Yeah, just gets through. They managed to just dodge it. Nice. Nice. It's not Mystery Heroes. No, it's not Mystery Heroes. The Mystery Heroes game was interesting, but it, double Brigitte just like is going to give people heart palpitations and nightmares. I actually really like this playstyle. This sort of always like this feels like a London Spitfire kind of thing, which is basically just always go for the retake. Just always go for it. Like it doesn't matter how many people you're down, they just seem to always try it. And they just use it to build ultimates, they use it to stall out time. I don't know how valuable it truly is, but sometimes it will give them wins. Like, sometimes it does seem to give Spitfire especially wins unexpectedly, where they just don't seem to give up on points. They don't just fall back. Oh, they're all... Oh, no, that's Rouge Hong that they're teabagging. I think Carpe's leading the charge on that one. I think if Carpe dies, like, the entire Pacific Division just needs to teabag him. Good lord. This is mostly... It's like the only non-Korean in all of this, I think, is Custer. It feels bad, man, for Custer. That's an angle. Oh, God. Electric Cowboy? With Deadeye. With EMP, rather. This is a lot of resources. And like this is the ultimate backfire, right? That oh shit, I've just put him in position. Oh no, oh no. Again, silver lining for Pacific is like that was 3 ultimates to win a team fight, which generally isn't like the greatest economy. Like 3 ultimates, that's a lot for especially to get through middle of King's Row. Like, normally you'll see holds happen on the end of King's Row. That's probably where you want to spend a little bit more. So, actually not the end of the world here. Really not the end of the world here. Oh, this is the end of the world, though. Just stunned, wrecked, destroyed. Oh, dearie me. This is always the worst feeling in the world, by the way. When do we get Overwatch League branded teabags? Oh, you need World Cup branded teabags. Pre-match, Custer said he knows only Nanami in Korean, and it's good because he plays Mercy. I mean, yeah, it's Custer's just probably just playing a game of Overwatch like with team chat turned off because, good lord, he's not gonna have a clue what's happening. Yeah, it always feels rough when you're playing Ham and you just collide with a tiny bit of terrain. Yeah, this is a disaster. SaberLB is popping off. SaberLB has officially popped off on the Kree, which, again, not too surprising. Oh, I remember this highlight. It's just, it's just good. Everyone's going to get that armor. This is actually like a real issue now because you need value to come through, and the armor's going to make that way tougher. It's like he wants to play it safe. Now he's going to go for Jonak. Again, the armor's going to stop up a lot of that damage. Does finally start peeling through now that Fish is involved. And again, it's an okay follow-up, but it's an okay follow-up on the back of like, well, the enemy didn't use anything during that, and we used quite a lot. They only used Rally, and Rally comes back pretty much instantly. I'm not the biggest fan of Electric Cowboy as a combo. Just throwing this out there. It's like, again, it's a show match, so I can't be too critical. But if you really want value, like, don't go, oh, well, I saw the pros use Electric Cowboy, so I should use Electric Cowboy when you have a Winston and a Doomfist. The value is just so much more on these two heroes. The Doomfist is already quite tanky now and quite difficult to kill, so just making him even more so just means that he can basically spend more time killing people. Deadeye struggles to get kills at the best of times. And then Winston is just always going to be pretty good with it. Like, it just makes Winston pretty solid. So can't really go wrong. Pine showing up. That's what you want. Electric Cowboy is a great name. It is a great name. It's a superb name for a combo. I love the named combos in Overwatch. I love the Big Bang and the Bigger Bang. I love stuff like that. I wish that we had a, like, because you have like Graviton Strike or Dragaton Surge
Welcome
and stuff
to
like that for the
Overwatch,
Dragon Grab, but it's still not the best.
Cheers and woe and yay.
Hey, thank you, Poe, 73 for the 8 months as well. Yeah, like, you know, like the Space Jam stuff for Doomfist Zarya. Like, I like stuff like that. I just think it's really, really cool. So if I say Electric Cowboy, people hopefully know what I'm talking about. It also sounds like an Electric Six song. I like this, by the way. This with the Doomfist, just controlling this bit of space up here. Like this, I think is really cool. Because there is a chance that this converts into a kill, like with Doomfist. You never know. Now, no mercy, malpractice. Well, Boostio. Like, Boostio's a really good one. So, again, Pacific, no fun allowed. They're just going for the Nano Winston. Again, it's really good at the moment. Really, really good at the moment. Just so good. Oh, God. It's just, mwah. Look at this poetry in motion. Just damage, 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 follows, damage, damage. Oh, God. Spicy. Spicy high skill play out of Fisher. It does warm my heart to see like Fisher versus Gesture again. Even if he is Soul Dynasty now. Interesting to see that the Sombras have completely vanished. I guess it's because it's just hard to like get. Although, like, is it hard to get hacks off? I guess like this might be a, you know, for just thinking like in terms of, okay, well, on the defense, you know, you can try and like set yourself up over here, and try and get hacks as they come around this corner. But they're just like, you just set a diva and you just spam, where you just get like Pine to just go through with the laser and just like go bzz, and you will be able to clear this space pretty effectively. So there's not like any good pathways to like get behind the enemy team quite as much. So I guess the Sombra's value just vanishes kind of in this place. And then for the offensive, like the infiltrating this area with the Sombra is going to be like super difficult. Like just going through here and then through here perhaps would be the way to do it. But even then, like any spam is just going to catch you. So value of it does seem to diminish here.
45 seconds left here for the push on Atlantic, and they really only have the Deadeye. They will have another boost online here from Jonak momentarily.
Carpe, fresh off his loss in the Widow show match. Oh, who saw that coming? Shawful. I remember when Shawful was second fiddle to Reaver back in Z9, like a long time ago. Who knew? Whoops. He tripped. He fell over. Oh dear. Oh dear. That's kind of that push done when one of your main sources of damage just falls off the map.
Lovely little somersault into the pits of Mordor that lie below. And with only 6 seconds left, it does seem like the Pacific Division will hold and come out swinging here in the All-Star.
Oh! Yeah, the Desperation Deadeyes don't really do too well in my experience, so... Pacific with 1-0 up. Now, because this is a recent VOD, I'm going to have to do this manually. So if I go full screen and then go down here, go to videos, and then go over here. It should be, come on, it was here. All the videos were uploaded. Let's just go to the videos tab. Boom, bosh, done. Game number 2. Nice. The nice part about watching VODs is that you can skip all the timers. I don't know about you guys, but this is part of why I enjoy watching VODs a little bit more sometimes than watching live, because I can just skip and skip and skip and skip all the fluff. I believe this is where the Pacific Division just basically go, yep, sod it, we're going to run LA Valiant, which, fair enough, basically. I think it's a little bit mean-spirited in a show match, but hey.
Rialto take. I figured you're a man of. Come out.
You know what? Why not?
Tetris, so it makes it amazing to me.
So yeah, it's just like it's Valiant against a mixture of Koreans.
They probably are just for show.
They're just for show. Yeah.
Just don't mind me. And out we go.
Yeah. Defense rolling out.
I mean, it's a scary mix of Koreans.
Ana Libero on the Ana of all things.
So yeah, there is a bit of an oddity
Mano and Fury gonna be
with this mixture of Koreans in that they have a lot of DPS players.
a little bit
A lot of DPS players.
again the ultra flex.
So Libero is going to be on the Ana, Bedosin on the Zen. Meanwhile, Pacific Division,
Already getting to potentially have a boop.
it's Valiant.
You know, on offense, generally a team's gonna at least pop out with the Widow, especially when you're playing against Soon. You know, Soon's either
It's just Valiant,
a lot of
you know.
offensively looking pretty standard as well. Space also.
I find this mean. I don't know about you, but I find this mean.
Most of all, we'll see how it all goes and kick it off here on Rialto Map 2, Pacific Division up 1-0.
It's a nice little spot from Profit, but I think like a big disadvantage to this spot is that you to stay up here because like it does slowly like the game is designed to like push you out of spaces like this, so you get slowly pushed out here, and you notice that he has to use the rocket boost.
Pacific Division up 1-0.
This is like super loud, so I'm surprised that no one actually seems to hear this.
All-star game powered by Intel.
Just wait for it. There
Looks for it. Oh,
Rocket space. That was so close.
oh.
That was so close. Nice try, Prophet.
Great thing about Rialto is this opening fight.
So Rialto, one of the most defensive bias maps in the game. It's like got the 42% win rate for offense on ladder or something like that. It's really not the easiest to push. First corner is generally a nightmare, and then the end of first is a nightmare, and then like the end of second is a nightmare, and then third point is a nightmare. So it's like
Each other down.
non-stop brutal.
Right into the choke.
I'd say the difficulty for Pacific here is that actually the angles for the Widowmaker on this first corner are not actually as neat as you would hope. Like they are not as simplistic as just like, oh well, you can just stand back and shoot down it. When you start getting into the courtyard, then Widow starts really coming to life because you have like then you can pop out this way, you can fly from up here, you can fly from main. You have a lot of options available to you. You can even go on like a super long flank around the back. But this first corner, a little bit trickier. Meanwhile, the Farah has a ton of value on this first corner. She's really good at this first corner. When you got round this first corner, when you start getting past it, that's when it gets difficult. But until then, everyone is just bottled into this alleyway. You can really see the value of it here, where just Profit and Saya Player getting the value out of this medium range, getting the value out of the splash damage, and just rocking it, basically. Dive is starting to sort of pay off, though. Agility says found some kills. So it looks like Space and Agility's just coming to life.
Good here so far. 2 kills for them on this early defense. Custom not even allowed to escape. Libero.
Agility just gets into the back line, finds Slayer player, probably without his flashbang at the moment. Good kills out of Agilities, like
Theo comes back and saves him, takes profit out of
the lad can perform on his Genji.
tanks all by their lonesome, and that is a tank named
Correct me if I'm wrong, Chad, but Agilities is Canadian, I think. Agilities.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll really connect with their audience.
I always worry about saying things in absolutes, and I should just, yes, he is Canadian, for the love of Christ. So, yeah. Imagine just practicing as well for the World Cup, like, a good chunk of these players should be. So, you know, I imagine they actually took their scrim somewhat seriously if they did scrim a little bit. Just to use it as practice for, you know, the World Cup and other things coming up. Nanoblade comes in, a lot of damage, and actually, oh, good counter, actually. Nice.
Atlantic Division.
So it's surprising that he sort of got away with that. They just couldn't spot him. They just didn't know. No, he actually just activates dead. When does he Deadeye? He just goes for it straight away? Who blinks first is my question. Say a player activates Deadeye, and then they go for the Nanoblade. But they don't go for the Deadeye. Because I think that's just the stun coming from the Brigitte. Profit just catches him, and then Say a player just kills him. Which I think if you want a piece of advice here, if you want a nice little tip, a tipperoni, if there is a Deadeye going on and you're using Dragon Blade, you probably want to kill the Deadeye.
Time there. Soon in space with a couple of kills, and space with the triple. Gonna walk this point.
Oh, man, oh.
To the checkpoint.
Oof! Custer just knocked his block off. Still works out because Space is really good at the game, apparently. Who knew?
There's the death. That's what Agilities is saying right now, unfortunately for him.
Like, it's surprising that this works out.
There's the
Let's
death.
try and find the precise moment.
That's when
So very nice little kill. Triple support lineup though, so there's still a lot of healing. It's good a bit of space by actually being created, unironically, by Fate there. Yeah, it feels like Fate's managed to like occupy two people, so basically Bedosin and Saya Player were just pushed out of the fight. Spaces in the backline with like a million charge on Zarya, I imagine, and he's just killing everyone. And then Grav to clean up. Nice.
And there we go. Mana doesn't even make it in. So, checkpoint achieved. First point picked up. 4.5 minutes on the clock here for Pacific Division. Looking good. Bit of a strong start there for Atlantic, but weren't able to capitalize.
What are you saying about Rialto? It's a nightmare? Yes. Listen, anytime that a new map comes out, I'm not expecting them to get it perfect first time, but I would like to see Blizzard do balance passes on maps a little bit quicker. Like, they release a new map into the pool. I think it's the very height of hubris to anticipate, oh no, it's going to be great first time. They should expect that they're going to need to go in and like tweak a bunch of things and make it a little bit better. Blizzard are aware of it. I just hope that they can get onto it quickly. Rialto is a map that, as far as I can tell, not too many people enjoy playing. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous to look at from a geometry and sort of visuals point of view, but as an actual map, needs work. So Atlantic, like, they want to pressure aggressively into this, but they're a little bit too scared, and I actually like this by Pacific of just not forcing it too much in terms of like, oh, well, we're just going to like march forward, right? You want to be a little bit careful with like these Bastion Orisa comps where it's like, oh, we must get to the payload Bastion. No, you can, if the enemy team are in shooting range and they want to try and contest you, you just set up where you need to set up. Grav is sort of the one saving grace. Fate can just kind of walk out of it, and this is a lot of good anti-tank damage. Like, Atlantic need to change things up, and they're doing just that right now. Prophet swaps off. I imagine Saya Player will swap off as well. Don't see the McCree being super valuable here. You've got to sort of do a lot of shield break. You've got to find a way to just get in front of the Bastion and shoot him down. It's going to be tough. So goes to the Tracer instead. And so yeah, they're gonna want to dive it out. No Diva, which is an interesting one. But they can play close to this corner. Try and run him down. Again, notice that they are not married to the payload. Notice that Soon is clever enough to like go, okay, well, if I just sit on the payload here and they stand up here and drop on me, I'm going to die. So Soon just backs off. He's just looking to create some distance. Create the big D where possible. Beautiful block. I mean, he's got two barriers, so you kind of expect it. You kind of hope to see these things blocked. And I like the engage with the trance. Just clean them out. The Bastion cheese, in theory, should stop working once you clear the Bastion away, because how do they get the Bastion back to the payload? Bastion is, by all definitions, an absolute unit, so the moment you can start getting damage on him in recon form, he will die pretty quickly. Despite having 300 hit points, he still dies fast because of the size of his model. Like, he's very, very easy to shoot.
Yeah, he's going to be totally set up right now to just ruin somebody. There's the spot.
Oh. Wait. We got Metal Gear Widow.
Right now.
How did Curry even get back here? Like, there is the flank around. I'm guessing just no one paid attention to it and he just went over. Like, I think he just went over this way. He's taking some damage, so... I wish... When did this happen? What happened to you, Kareev? It's actually... No, he just ran through. Oh my god, he just ran through. He just came out here and he's just like, yep, I'm gonna run in. So maybe this was the big brain plan all along. This was the next level strat, right? We run this Bastion stuff to screen for our Widowmaker to get into the back line. It's just infiltration at its finest. I'm like, why is he damaged? Like, So this is always the nightmare when playing Widow, which is like, oh, this shot should be easy, but... It's a very nice start. Prophet goes in for the duel. Widow versus Genji duel is actually a little bit messy. You only have to do, once you get that Venom Mine, you only have to do 125 damage. One body shot is 120 damage. A melee hit is more than enough to convert that into a kill. A little bit of spray and a melee hit. More than enough. Just beautiful distraction work there. Valiant with the big brain plays. This actually gets the Bastion back in as well. And then everyone in chat's going, is there a bug with the gun? No, soon it's just like tapping left click. And so Bastion turns into like the Thrustomatic 9000 or something. So there we go. I can vividly remember chat just losing their tiny little minds. Just, this was spicy, however. I love this. I love just the realization of Mano just going, hang on, this is a really loud announcement of our attention. He just turns around and just does not give a shit. One swing, just to grind him down a little bit, get through that ironclad damage, and then a charge into the wall. Easy. Mass teabagging of the poor Diva, and then just carried into a wall. There you go, Custer. Custer is now on Diva for some reason. This is when it feels like, you know, they've lightened up a bit. They're playing whatever. I mean, the Bastion was kind of when they lightened up a bit, I suppose, but still. Valiant realizing that, you know, we should not probably just play our normal heroes. Let's swap things up slightly. Although Soon is still on DPS because he's French, and the French are innately try hard. What is fun? I do not know this thing. I am French. I do not know fun. Beautiful Big Bang. Very, very nice minor detail, by the way, that happens here from Saya player. Which is that he sees the McCree and he waits. He waits for a split second. Because if he got caught by that flash, this combo probably doesn't go through and the fight could look very different. And yes, the Saya surprise. With a gun in his hand and death in his eyes. Or a pulse bomb in hand, I suppose. Ugh. So yeah, this is where Rialto gets really goddamn difficult. Like the sightlines are long, you're constantly taking damage and pushing in. It's a tough old map. You generally have very good info on what the enemy's doing at pretty much all times because there's lots of windows and stuff. You can't really sneak things through. Zoom with the big old kill. I mean, this is the vulnerability of the Tracer. The flanking Widow doesn't pay off. Profit. MVP super carry, but still can't quite find the kills. And Custer, who knew? Who knew? You know, after the banter between Moomer and Custer on, like, you know, oh, well, main tanks can't play. Like, Custer seems to be pretty spicy on the old off tank at the very least. I mean, like, the cool thing that's happening here, like, just to, like, actually do some proper analysis is, again, you notice that Pacific, they're not just, like, doing what happens on ladder, which is just everyone sort of stands around the payload and maybe moves to this corner. Okay? This is the thing that pro teams are very, very good at doing, more often than not, which is just taking a lot of space. Just, like, moving as far forward as they can. Okay, instead of contesting you near us, we're going to contest you over here. And then as we need to, we're going to fall back a little bit. And we have like a Widowmaker with a crossfire to make it a little bit more awkward, make it a little bit more difficult. So they actually do a very good job here of just like all marching forward. Okay, we're going to screen as close to you as we can, hold you in this doorway, hold you in the doorway over here as well. And that will actually do for us. And then they just push with like one person on the payload because they know that inherently kind of you're going to get 2, maybe 3 fights here. So it's more about like dictating where and how the fight happens and less about, oh, we need to push the payload as far as we humanly can. There's a grab, trance, but touched late. Good kill out of side play though. Good kill out of, more out of Mano, I'd say, but like, this is actually really nicely done by Mano. Just good crisis management. Catching the charge is kind of a big deal because the charges, like during these trances, the charge is generally what converts into a kill. Like you will look to charge someone with 200 hit points or, you know, 250 or whatever and just try and get an instantaneous death. But cancelling it out, gonna help a lot. And again, same thing kind of happening, by the way, which is just taking a redonkulous amount of space, right? Running as far forward as they can, pushing the enemy team back as far as they can, and just taking over as much ground as they can. This might be a touch too spicy, but you know this is starting to get into showmatch territory. This is why. And now they're sort of stuck in no man's land. I'm more than fine with the committal of the Dragon Blade here. Oh, having a bit of a tough time with it. And Libero desperately, please, please no, and just gets taken down. Feels bad, man.
With a swing of the hammer, Pacific rolling through, but they're down too. We're gonna hit overtime here momentarily. A shatter up for space. You rarely see it on the Reinhardt. That's more Fate's role, but Fate's busy playing this.
Oh, Badosin. Oh god, what? Interesting. I suppose it's a safe move. Like, if you see the Zen, you might expect there's going to be more people. I think Badosin's heart just, like, leapt into his throat here, though, because he's literally out here on his own. I mean, it's easy for us to, like, see that no one else is near him, but there could be more people coming, so Space just kind of wisely backs away. And that's Mano with an ult, and oh, god, Fury goes for a grab with just no follow-up. I mean, it's a really nice grab, but... okay, no, Fate's trouncing. It's kind of hard to see, because, like, you only see, like, the outer part of this red, I guess. You can't really see this red, in the aura. Everyone's too busy, like, finding out. This is just the glorious... Wow. Just... If you're ever in desperation, I guess you can beg for mercy. Look at him. Look at him beg. Beg for his life. Sayaplayer Blade? Sayaplayer bladed on like 20 hit points. What? Just gets picked off by Karib. Lel. I think the big thing I want to highlight here, by the way, is just like how much damage these Zaryas are doing. Fury in particular, just to like piggyback on yesterday's coaching. That these Zaryas seem to be vital in winning these fights, just by doing sheer weight of damage. That the Zaryas are what's determining where these fights go and how quickly they end, or who dies, where do they die. Like, do not underestimate the ability for Zarya to destroy people, please. Skip it forward, skip it forward. There we go.
Then you teleport, you drop a turret down, you molten core, and you win the map.
There you go. Exactly.
Look at this. Look at this. Look at this tryhard. Look. Oh. This is valiant tryharding.
Similar compositions to what we saw. It's just the players who are on these heroes has been varying wildly back and forth, especially once they start.
This is certainly an interesting starting position.
Right at home in the gondola there.
You are aware that French and Italian people.
I want to point out that Semler. Thank you to Semler for calling this bit of commentary out.
Soon feels right at home in the gondola there.
You are aware that French and Italian people they don't live in the same place, right?
I'm American, so I'm gonna call close enough, buddy.
So yeah, Hex thinks that Italy and France are the same place. Clearly, right. Yeah, this is an interesting angle that I don't think does you any favors at all. And I think that if someone even remotely peeks out on this side, they will probably spot the Widow. Hopefully they will spot the Widow. So
Maybe he's just admiring the architecture. Like, oh man, I wish my stairs had banners.
I think he's going for an infiltration, a sneaky flank. Sneaky flankerino.
Planning a trip to Home Depot.
Which it kind of works out. It's just, I think, you know, if someone so much glances that way, then this goes horribly wrong.
The patience pays off as profit goes.
Now, the issue that they're facing on the front line, though, is that Atlantic are running the good old Arita Hog Hanzo, which is like, okay, if you're going to try and fight us, and I really actually like this to break through here on first, Arita Hog Hanzo Zen. Because if the enemy team runs the Reinhardt, and they probably will, they might run an Arisa Hog of their own. Especially if they run a Rein, you just break the shield, and then you just throw in Halt hooks all freaking day. Like, you know, the only thing you have to worry about really is those area projected bubbles, and once that's gone, well, you just kill through regardless.
Planning a trip to Home Depot.
So I actually kind of really like this.
Restoration hardware.
So they actually catch the Mercy, kill the Mercy.
Patience pays off as Prophet
Mercy swapped on both sides.
so pretty even on these fights. No main healer up for either, but soon continues his reign.
And like Fate wants to pressure forward, but it's like, yeah, you can't pressure forward into this team comp on your own as a Reinhardt. Like, do you think Ariza Hog give a shit about Fate? Do you think Mano and Fury were scared here when Reinhardt just went forward a little bit? It's like, ooh, I'm gonna get you. No, you're not. No, you really are not. You're gonna get hooked and destroyed. Now the issue with this comp is when you get into this area out here, but they luckily have enough momentum. Again, I like what they're doing of just taking control of this bridge straight away. This is where you want this Ariza Hog set up, and they go and do that. Instead of trying to like slowly grind through the courtyard, they just go straight to the choke point, which again, pretty good. They're close enough geographically, technically yes, but they still are quite different. Like they are fairly different culturally and historically.
Agility's begging for a trip back to respawn. Costa does the same. Bedosian will oblige him. And now we continue to move forward. Bedosian's going to have Transcendence, and Atlantic hasn't been stopped in their offense thus far.
No, they've been looking fantastic, actually. 5 minutes on the
And again, taking space. Good lord. I love it. This is also where I want to highlight something super important that I noticed when watching the VOD and even tweeted about this, which is that I mentioned it at the start that Atlantic Division have a problem where they only really have like Bedosian as a support player. Notice who is playing Mercy. Also notice how good that Mercy skin looks. That looks really cool, the Atlantic Mercy. Yeah, notice this, right? Notice that this is the freaking MVP of the Overwatch League Season 1. Like, you know, if I type in like Prophet Quadra Kill or whatever, no, Prophet, just like Prophet Hanzo clip into Google, hopefully you can get it. No, sorry. That Tracer clip will do as well. There was a Hanzo clip, but let's go with the Tracer one, the 5K. You know, this is this man, right? This man is playing Mercy. The man who basically completely soloed Philadelphia Fusion. It's... This man is playing Mercy. Right, this like God's gift to freaking DPS players is playing Mercy. If it's good enough for Prophet, it's good enough for me. You know? That's what I'll say.
5 minutes in the bank right now. Pacific Division are going to need to put up a fight around this corner. This is where they got stalled out a lot on their offense, Pacific. So, you know, take note, figure out what those guys did. And,
So again, this is the nice side effect of like taking space like this. The key thing to the key thing if you are trying to do this, if you want to try and make people do this in ranked, the biggest thing is just do not get married to the ground that you've taken. Like you run forward, you hold from here for a couple of seconds, the enemy team starts pushing forward, okay, you fall back. And then you can hold from here. And then if they keep pushing, you can fall back even further and you can hold from the payload. Like, there's no need to get married to these spots. You can just pull back a little bit as sort of numbers start to overwhelm, and then you can start making your way back in. Are these people not playing the normal heroes? Pacific are, yes. Valiant are, by the looks of
Welcome
things.
to Overwatch,
But,
Silly.
hey, thank you, Magic.
I'll use that on ladder. Prophet can play Mercy, why can't you?
Exactly, right? Prophet played Mercy, come on. Like, are you as good as Prophet? No, then shut up and play Mercy. Yeah, this is just Valiant, though. So the dragon will be spicy, because you're putting it through walls, which is always nice. Take some ground.
lots of free progress getting made here by the Atlantic Division. That payload's nearing the bend. Agility's maybe looking to be the
Just
hero
a
here. He doesn't
straight blade. Well, not even a straight blade, a straight Genji. I really don't like just Nano Genji. Base Nano Genji, I find it so... Ugh. Ugh. Like, if he's near a blade, like if he's on 70% and can dash through like 4 people, then sure, then you use it to sort of get that, but... Like, the trance even feels excessive here, and then the Grav finally comes out, but... Ugh. Ugh.
there, but Space comes in, tries to get a couple. It's not going to be enough. Space gets killed by Saya. Fate gets sent into the canal, and they will
I like the Atlantic. I was gonna say I like the Atlantic Widowmaker, but then I sort of realized that it does kind of make her look naked, which is slightly concerning, I suppose. I still like it, but that's perhaps a wrong reason to like it.
Oh, he got the flank shatter, but there's no follow-up. There's the blade. And
Jesus.
Side player, only one kill as Prophet
Good lord. I mean, Sire Player is like just ridiculous with flick shots. He's always been ridiculous with flick shots. And I think Sire Player was robbed, by the way, in the Widow 1v1. Because he had to play Carpe first, and that's kind of unfair. It's kind of a death sentence, right? There's no shame in losing to Carpe. But yeah, Sire Player, like, oh boy.
There's the blade. And it gets another player, only one kill as Prophet dead. Notion as well.
Enough, though. Definitely enough for the Pacific to stabilize there as they come charging back in with their tanks. Able to get some nice fight on the carts. I know Zarissa has been really good, but I wonder if he's going to...
I'm so glad they get the replay of this. I think he takes some damage from something else. Yeah, he takes a little bit of damage. I think from the Zen. It's still, like, just ridiculous.
My screen hit melee.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit mad there. Or was it a Yeah, it was.
Oop.
That's, yeah.
Not grand.
Just a bit of wall nuzzling. It looks like they're setting up for a dragon. Especially, like, one of the nice things about the dragon here. So this is another thing with Rialto. Like, and part of why Hanzo's pretty good on this map. Because he's pretty good on every map, to be honest. Basically, the Reinhardt's holding super close, and if the Reinhardt wants to stay here and you put a dragon across like this, the Reinhardt has no good options. You basically walled him in, effectively. So you can go and just bully him. It feels like Libero's setting up for that. Like, the best way to do this, by the way, if you want to do this sort of thing, is you put a Sonic Arrow like here, and then you know what you're dragoning when you do it. It's pretty nice. It is pretty nice.
Fire it across the cart. Get your team on the cart and start making some progress.
Exactly right. You pick up the kill, bonus. Mono is dead.
She does actually look naked? Yes, she does. I mean, this is the thing of putting a light blue woman in a light blue suit.
Take down Sai. This battle has been raging all day while everyone else fights in the ground.
And they're still making progress. No, they're not. Never mind now. For some reason I saw it.
Well, now they
This is scary because, like, this is the advantage that Hanzo has on this map, right? It's kind of a playground with your ability to get to high ground and stuff and just bounce up into unexpected angles, pop up, do some dams, swap in.
You got a nano boosted Reinhardt who needs DPS. You got an angry hammer swinging beast in the front line that you're just not going to be able to kill. Self Fate bringing it back. Liberal.
Constantly popping up and making everyone's lives miserable, as Hanzo naturally does, doing what comes naturally to him.
the Pacific All-Star team are on their home heroes, essentially. They're all playing exactly what they generally play their roles.
Oh, and that is a quick teamfight win.
Comes that payoff that practice rooming 6 days a week for 6 months will give you right there. Coordinated kills. Pacific Division.
Team kill Horn.
We are under 2 minutes. Pacific
Again, Pacific, I'd say slightly unsportsman, but hey.
best of 5 of our over.
It's interesting to me that Libero swapped to Brigitte and not Saya player, because I think the Hanzo actually has been getting more value than the Widow has.
So do I. Works. I-7 6600K, man.
Boom. Dropping numbers.
So I actually find that very interesting. It might just be an ultimates consideration, but even then I'd say, like, well, you just you play for the old Dragon Graph and win.
Taking and try-harding this game.
Yeah, this. I mean, you want a pretty good combo as well. The old Nano Ryan into a Graviton Surge is always going to be pretty nice. And the Dragon Blade's, like, just not going to phase him in the slightest.
They have to win. 'Cause if they've done this, if they've gone all the way, when Atlanta goes like, we're just having fun.
Yeah, this is when the try-hard definitely comes out. You start mocking someone for trying at video games because you're not.
Yeah, I mean, look at Atlanta right now. They're running.
Doomfist being swapped in for, like, this. So this sort of thing is super interesting to me, right? Agilities has gone from Genji to Doomfist. And the conventional logic would be, well, you know, let's look at why he's done this. Why has he made this decision? Now, the first thing you could say is, one, it's a show match. So he's just decided that he wants to play Doomfist. This is an okay conclusion, but I don't think it's actually the whole picture. Because the big question mark that it sort of applies is, what about this Brigitte, right? Doomfist into Brigitte always feels a little bit awkward, a little bit clunky. But what people have found is that if you manage to hit enough targets, if the enemy team is playing like a Brigitte comp, they're generally playing like very, very tight-knit stuff. And so you generally get that 400 barrier, like, or whatever it is, like the 400 max hit points, pretty easily, to be honest. So it's not the, like... It's not the end of the world to play Doomfist into Brigitte like you would expect, as it is at the moment. Because again, that stun, it can sort of stop him up, but as long as you're positioning your engagements correctly and being a little bit clever and respecting the Brigitte, but not like being terrified, you can actually still get a lot of value out of that Doomfist. Probably more than you will get out of the Genji. So this is actually like useful stuff that you can filter out of this All-Star game. That Doomfist, as he is now, is kind of tough to handle. Now, Atlantic still win the fight, and while I was doing that spiel, it was a case of, how do they win this fight? Trance, both sides, stall out, Graviton Surge. Okay. And, yep, Fury just rocking out. Space on the Diva. Notice, just again, for the coaching the many aficionados with the Zarya, coaching the many's that we did, high damage Zarya making a big impact in these fights. More than the Diva is having. Badosin is ridiculous. Badosin is ridiculous. He's a very good Zen. I mean, Custer's not exactly a slacker either. But Badosin's pretty good. It's just a shame that like Zen is falling more and more out of favor at the moment. He's starting to dip. Which, honestly, it's about time. This was a spicy shatter. And so the Reinhardts have, like, over-positioned. So Fate sort of pulled himself out of position here. The shatter is great. The follow-up isn't. Yeah. The old Nano Zarya, again, just... Like, this is what, 250 DPS? You might even just be like overthinking these right clicks, to be honest with you. Like, it might be more worth to just find something and put left mouse button on it, although that is a Nano Reinhardt. So I think he spots Kariv, wants Kariv, and then just gets booped around, slept, stunned, killed. How do the supports not get shattered? The barrier might have... Might just be out of range? Surely not. They might just be out of... Actually, no! Ooh. I think what it is Earth Shatter is technically like a channel ability. So it's a channeled ability in terms of its mechanics, right? So what that means is that you have to be like, you have to cast it for its duration, and he gets stunned midway. Well, like you see the cracks like get to here, and then he gets stunned by the brig, and it feels like the cone just sort of stops because this looks like it should hit like that to my eyes, like especially on at least Kariv, that should hit, but he gets stunned before the Shadow actually gets that far. So it's like it interrupts before the Earth Shadow actually rolls out and gets to over here and gets to its full sort of length. It's not corners, definitely. Range, it could be. But like you see Kariv here, and like this distance, this is Earth Shatterable. Like to my instincts, that's an Earth Shadow that should land. Like Kariv especially. Like my only thought is that because the interrupt comes through, you can see like the cracks have only spread to like here. That is definitely not Earth Shadow's range. Earth Shadow should be hitting, I think, both of these. Because you can see it's like it stops here when the brig gets him. Or when the Doomfist gets him, I guess.
But he gets stuck. Immediately countered. So the shatter is gone.
I'm so used to seeing Reinhardt get shadowed, I thought it was a brick. No, it's the Doomfist. Feels bad, man. Shadow's a channel? Of course it's a channel. You can interrupt it when he starts casting.
Both of us thought that was going to be it, Dunzo. Agility's overextends ever so slightly, and he will be punished for it.
Oh, I like it. Oh, oh, the only thing that will make this better if he did a 360. Just come from the top ropes.
I'm so excited for Ana and next season of the Overwatch League. The clutch Ana play. She's such a high skill support hero. Grab does come in. Space Jam!
Oh, the old classic. Sayplay with a huge hit back. Sayplay survived. What's done so much damage to him? Just fighting Custer somewhere. Did he go on the flank? I think he went on the flank. Yeah, he's over here. Sayplay has just gone through here. Clever little guy. It's like, huh, we should be winning this fight. Why aren't we winning this fight? Well, we only killed one person with 2 ults.
They know it too, and I guarantee you that Prophet is checking his backside every couple of seconds. Yeah, you can actually see him flipping around right now. Gotta get on the cart. Oh, and he is gonna have to come.
They lift it, they don't jump out, and
Nobody is there to death the card.
Letter number.
just one of the most egregious C9s I think I've ever seen. I think like Fate is terrified for it. I mean, being honest, like Fate will die to a single hit. Agility's just like does the Doomfist thing of bouncing out. Fate dies. Space gets bounced away. It's kind of. It is a good job by Atlantic to push them back. Why does Grab Media Strike called Space Jam? Because you dunk. Because it's a slam dunk, I imagine. And yeah, come on the slam. Is that game 3? Scoreboard makes it look like it's game 2. Because that's day 1, that's why. Ugh, bless. Give me all the VODs, please. Videos.
Like watching out. Super intense.
Those guys are pretty
Game 2, game 3. And jumping forward.
Dude, geese are messed up, man. Those things will attack.
So yeah, they do a bunch of swap-ins. Sleepy and Mickey. You collected the Internet Hulk Award. Very deservedly so. I think Mickey is a really good candidate for it.
Wild game of Overwatch. Pacific, though, you guys gotta step your game
And there we go.
up.
This is 1-1. Couple of change-ups on both sides.
Yeah, they already try-harded one map.
It's nice to see them not just playing Valiant non-stop. Right. Oof. Sure4 is playing Ana, which, again, fascinating. In terms of the defensive lineup, that's weird. That's weird. I know the defensive wrecking ball has been a thing. Like, let's keep an eye on these wrecking balls.
Here comes the hamster. Mickey right on the point, but there's no one there to slam.
I think I can appreciate what Atlantic are going for here, but it feels really schizophrenic.
You know, like,
Also, yes, this is a game where the audio was really weird. Where's the wrecking ball?
Try-harded one map. You might as well just lean right into it and try.
Because, like, maybe they wanted to just jump them when they came around this corner and, like, just try and kill them en masse. So, yeah, they even have the wrecking ball, like, starting on the flank and comes in, swings in, and tries to land on them, and then they perhaps jump in, but it's a bit awkward when half of the Pacific Division's team just roll through. Let's go straight to point. Mickey giving me a goddamn heart attack watching this, by the way.
Just roll around.
Which is the like... you know, he just use the shield. Please, please use the shield for the love of God. Oh. Did Shield 4 hit a sleep on Sabiobi? Yes, he did. This is, yeah, that feels rough. And yeah, he did make a good speech. Although it was a good speech, but... And I don't want to deliberately misinterpret the speech either, because I think the way he made it sound, it's like, oh, I have to be happy, because if I'm not, then everyone else will be sad. And it's like, no, that's not your responsibility, man. But he just seems a really cheerful guy. Like, he just seems to be... I think he just understands on a macro level, like, what he does is special. And he should enjoy that and sort of finds the enjoyment in all of that, which is good to see. And then we almost have, you know, you want to talk about C9s. Whoops. Lol, feels bad, man. I mean, this is like, the unsung hero of this game so far has been OG, because he's like got a pulse bomb and no one else really has anything. Like, Shore4 and OG seem to be rocking out a little bit. We have been following the Hammond pretty aggressively. And we haven't seen what Libero's up to. I want to know what Libero's doing on this defensive Hammond, because that to me is like infinitely fascinating. It's like he's over here. Like the thing with Hammond is that starting out with him, when you're setting up your starting positions, you don't think in terms of like, well, I want to hold by the choke. No, you need to think in terms of like, I can grapple here and swing, and then I can land on the choke here. Right? Your pathing is way different to every single other tank. It's so bizarre. You'll generally see in these in high-level games, high-level players, what they'll look to do with the Wrecking Ball is when an engagement starts, the Wrecking Ball will generally just like roll off 5 meters, 10 meters back, and then engage because he comes back in with a swing. The question here is, where does the Nano go? I really don't like Nano Wrecking Ball. OG seems an okay candidate. He seems to have been sort of quietly carrying this game. He's just like, yep, I'm just going to play Tracer really well and just demolish some nerds. Prophet again, playing Diva, not playing DPS. MVP. You had to bring out the secret weapon. This is the annoying part with Wrecking Ball, is he's very difficult to clear up. I've noticed this myself. When you bring Wrecking Ball out to stall points, he is very good at it. Because you basically have 1,000 hit points and you're kind of mobile, you don't have a head hitbox, it's pretty good. I usually set up on the moving bar. I quite like the moving bar, but the issue I have with the moving bar is that you kind of want to get the swing damage as well. So if you think about how to optimize your damage with Wrecking Ball, you kind of want to swing, get some damage here, and then get more damage as you land. Right? You want sort of both of these things to hit. So if you stay on the top bar and you just drop down, then you are going to get the slam probably exactly where you want it, but you won't get the swing damage. So like starting from like here, and then you can like use this, and you can sort of get an angle swinging up, or you can like if the bar is close, then you can just hit the bar and swing, and then come down like that. Because the thing with the swing as well is it is very disruptive to like like if they speed boost in, it's very tough. Forward. So this is where Atlantic got real spicy. I think this is where both teams started getting real spicy, and I love it. Well, Twitch loads. Twitch, please. There we go. Turbier and ready to work. Don't get caught with your beard in the letterbox. It's just the best phrase. It's like if you're peeking through the letterbox and your beard gets caught in it, it's like, oh no, I'm stuck, and then the person like opens the door and they know it, and you get slammed in the face with the door, and they know that you've been peeping. Ooh, not good. So don't get caught with your beard in the letterbox. And so we have it happen. Oh, Sim. Oh, Sim. Right. So Atlantic have gone full meme. There's no other way to phrase this. Right, the Torbjorn is like semi-memey, especially with no like Orisa. They try and catch the Wrecking Ball, but oh, it's full me. Also, Sleepy is just doing nothing but stealthing and spamming boop. Going boop.
I'm just hoping it works. I'm hoping it works. Boy, look at that. Yeah, no more turrets allowed.
The May wall, I think, leaves something to be desired there.
We're gonna get it. Yep.
I think we have a teleporter for the sake of teleporting. This is kind of nice. Like, this actually is giving you an advantage when you're playing with a sim. I mean, I'd like to see them set up a little bit more around the doorway, but hey, actually seems to get something done here. And then he does the weirdest thing in the world, which is just, like, runs into the back line
Oh, this is crazy now. All right, we will lose a TP.
to try and set up a spawn camp.
The picture now.
I mean, I guess that he knows that, like, everyone on the enemy team's going to turn around, so why stick around? But
Oh, this is crazy. All right, we will lose a TP. So that's
you know, this is one of the best
been cleaned up.
sort of DPS players in the game,
Working on now.
playing sim.
Not quite there.
Spine, of course, is in the back line, yeah.
Annoying as possible.
And yes, Prophet is in there as well, with, like, 0 hit points. He's been found. Looks like they're trying to camp things down. We have a battle of the builders, and, well, one of them has a mercy. And Torbjorn's right click is pretty good.
Please underestimate the Tor primary. That primary is absolutely lethal.
He says primary here, but I'm pretty sure that's a right click that kills.
Got a sniper rifle as well.
It might have actually been a primary. Tough to tell. But yeah, like, Torb at close distance is actually pretty dangerous.
Primary is absolutely lethal. You can hit left clicks with it or even right clicks. You are gonna melt people.
This is why May, like, messes with Hammond, like, more so than the stun, right? The thing with Hammond you need more than anything is time. You need time to kill him.
Even right clicks, you are gonna melt.
May gives you time.
And that is one frigid hamster ball right there.
That was sick. Delay on the nade as well. Just making sure they
Nano May, oof.
damage.
Nano May.
Just,
Let's go. Sleepy could have the angle there.
Nano May.
how low was she? To
Sleepy could have the angle there.
I think that, oh, okay, Mickey's shooting as well. And the Molten Core. I mean, I'm disappointed that it's not like a Torb Symmetra, where you just teleport Molten Core turrets through, but can't get everything you want.
Large mammals on the point.
And a small
But if you try sometime, you just might find. You get what you need.
perfect time. Squeak, squeak 'em.
That did sound like a disappointed squeak.
So, I don't know if this comes through on the stream, but Sleepy is literally just running around people going, boop. It's like, literally, he's playing a submarine, basically.
Attack here again.
Pine's looking for him.
Work with ultimate wise. Libero is going to be able
Oh, hack him, please, hack him.
so good
Oh,
at taking points and taking controllers. They might just want to wait for him. Sleepy just
Sleepy's just not even playing the game. He's just booping non-stop.
very quickly.
Sleepy just got bumped as well. Prophet taking it.
So why are there memes in this game? Because there's nothing on the line, and there's nothing...
So he will be able
It's a
to
show
get
match.
kills, and he is going to succeed in keeping Mickey alive. Mickey removes Pine.
That's why there's memes. That's why people are playing whatever they kind of want. They're playing to be entertaining. But there are actually useful things that are happening. And like how people position, how people move. Some of the decisions that get made.
On Hammond, the way I struggle on Hammond, I understand is just a strange hero. I cannot figure it out. I do not understand how grappling hooks work.
Yeah, that's just
Do you think it would be a good change to allow Sombra's allies to see the enemies revealed by opportunities? That would be way too powerful. Like Sombra Widow would be ridiculous. Sombra Genji, Sombra Tracer would be way more ridiculous than
and ask Johnny to train you up.
it is.
Yeah, you're gonna go over to that. You're gonna go over to that hellhole of an apartment once a week for a trade.
I think Sleepy is literally just playing to be annoying.
Actually hilarious to me that Reinforced lives with the degenerates that are Josh and Brett.
Yeah, it's an interesting.
And I noticed that the casters have given up casting this.
Disciplined, and bedroom's clean, and he makes healthy meals. And
Carpe?
and Brett.
Yeah, it's.
It is Carpe on Zen. Oh, he's taking a ton of damage, okay.
Oh, he's
He just sort of gets spooked.
clean, and he makes healthy meals. And then you have Josh and Brett.
I mean, or not. Let's just say that. We'll keep it at that. Let's move on from that situation here. Atlantic now finally have made some great progress, and in doing so, they actually didn't even have to use a ton of ultimates either. So but here, as they try to take the second. Already a worse time though, as 520 in the bank for the Pacific Division.
Nano Doom. I genuinely like Nano Doom. It's really freaking good at the moment. He's looking for his rival Doomfist, sees that it's come down. The nice thing about knowing that the enemy Doomfist has used his ult is that it means that you can use yours, because there is quite a funny thing you can do where you, like, if you both have ult and one Doomfist ults, then you ult as the other Doomfist, then when he comes down, you just sort of, you see the big circle, and you just put your circle on top of his circle, and he's just going to land and then die.
To the face would be brutal.
All right, so now a defender's advantage will closer, but the respawn timer is going to be brutal.
Big old
Takes down 3, and that might
slam,
just go
and
right there.
it's what I mean with Hammond being a pain, but he is literally just be spiked like a volleyball. Beautiful block, actually, by Pine there.
Continue to be made, and they are looking like they're going to pull
Like,
this off here.
gorgeous block.
The Pine Fist has been a thing of beauty. We're going to have to see some kills in the left.
Yeah, the color of that, the pale blue, like the pale blue lilac looks really good.
So blue,
Like the Atlantic Division color is really nice.
Having 6 DPS. Thanks,
hey,
fine.
yeah, click heads. Alright, so it's working out for him here. Final map, which I don't recall right now. I told
Come
you,
on.
no practice,
Ilios
no practice, no plan.
Come on, there we go.
The Atlantic squad does seem like there is going to be no Torb, no Sim, all sadness for me.
No fun.
So let's see, Pacific still playing slightly memey.
Division defense, they've got a Widow. Mickey,
I mean, I think the double hit scan on this map actually wouldn't be terrible. I love this,
Dallas Fuel team can run a Soldier 76. The Harry Hook
just
76 was a thing of legend.
gimmicky as hell.
Into that dugout, though, you know, Hex in there in the break. Just be like,
Very nice kill,
here, I think he needs
just to start things off. But
they're
the thing that I enjoy most about this duel is that Carpe is probably thinking, oh, the enemy Widow is like going for a flank. Huh, that's kind of interesting. I can totally take Sleepy in a duel. Oh my god. Oh geez, what the hell is this shit? Oh god. And yet still, I want to point this out. He still took 295 hit points off him. He still landed the full charge headshot. Look at this. He got hit by the Rhine hit, and he still landed the headshot. He still landed the headshot. Carpe is a god. Look at this shining golden god. Also, seriously, like, you telling me that she doesn't look naked? I mean, it literally just, it's like a 1-for-1 skin tone match. It is kind of just redonkulous.
Pretty aggressive from Big Goose. Puts Carpe down and pays for it. Some of the best physics in the video game world right there as he crashes into the wall. Prophet's able to take down two, doing his best Robin Hood impression.
Oh, buddy, and he absolutely getting caught as well.
I think whoever picked that color might have needed to consider the Widowmaker skin a little bit more. Perhaps.
The phase Prophet playing everything. Send Reinhardt back to spawn. Long distance, just why not shoot all the arrows? Something's bound to connect.
That's brutal.
I mean, Hex has just summed up, you know, my issue with Hanzo, but this is Prophet, so we can anticipate that he might actually just be aiming.
Send Reinhardt back to spawn. Long distance, just why not shoot all the arrows? Something's bound to connect.
Hanzo in a nutshell.
That's brutal. Outright.
Cannot be unseen now. Hey, yep.
Here for Atlantic Division. Carpe getting overwhelmed on the high ground. Pine is there to back him up. Big Goose not going to find any success, and a lightning fast take on the first point here for Atlantic.
As bad as their first offensive push was, they're making up for it now. 3 minutes at a time.
I mean, this is actually like legitimately dangerous. I mean, I know Atlantic are like playing 5 DPS, but actually having a tactical visor on second point is still really good. If you let the enemy team screen for you a little bit and you get the soldier on the high ground, with the enemy team like with no ability to stop you, with no tanks, which they don't have, that's actually really dangerous on this map. Like, it's still good. So you've got to kind of respect that fact. Oh, you can't take that peek.
You know he's got hacks up. You know he can see through walls.
Taking the dirt nap right now. Back in his spawn, Carpe.
You can't see a naughty bit. Maybe Widowmaker doesn't have naughty bits.
Widows who really don't even
Maybe they were removed by Moira. Who knows?
shot. There it is. Big Goose goes down.
Now we've got the Hammond out. OG is rolling his way to victory. Pacific Division trying to just stall things.
So
out.
the Pacific Division finally wussed out, and they're playing a tank and a support. Good lord. What is this? This isn't the quick play that I signed up for.
But there's so much damage. They keep dying instantly.
And yet they still lose. You see, it's just like the Dark Souls playthrough, guys, right?
How did that even work?
They had a tank, they basically had a shield.
I don't understand what that
And Pine still dabbing.
Yeah, you know, it's a good thing that we're not.
And yeah, I'm so glad that like,
do understand.
so to non-Brits, this like feels really, this will probably like feel really like, oh, he's just doing a peace sign. This actually is like legit doing a middle finger to the camera to like how I read that.
I don't understand what that means. Does that mean two? Watching Darkest? But yeah.
But yeah, it's you know, it's the Dark Souls logic, right? Those people had a shield. You saw how well that worked for them, right? You don't need a tank, clearly. Just play DPS. Why not? It's the best. It's the best thing.
I'm trying to sleep. It's 8 p.m. in the evening.
I've seen the players ever lost the stage. I did as well. Like it's nice to see them just having fun with it. I think events like this will probably be pretty refreshing for the players because they can just sort of focus on enjoying themselves. And I imagine that that's quite like cleansing after like such a high intensity season. Just having something like this just to relax with is kind of a big deal. So Libero on the Bastion again, no tank. Atlantic Division just opting. Just they don't need one, even with the Bastion play. Okay, I mentioned earlier on there is the Hex.
I mean, if this is the internet, there will be 5 threads posted right now talking about how Hammond is a main tank.
Oh, well, I mean, you listen to the guy.
Hex, please. Like every instance we've seen of Hammond being played, is he gets played as a main tank. It's just like, come on. Please. Peace sign, yeah, peace sign, like this is not offensive. This is not offensive. Turning it around is offensive. Yeah, this is what I mean by Bastion being an absolute unit. I mean, like he's aiming pretty well, but yeah, it's just so easy to land the shots.
So far, they hold 4 alive here on the point itself for Rethinking Division. Got to keep it together because they still have Pine on the heels.
No tick taken either. Alright, Strikers on the Brigida, a little more heals too. So
This is why Anna Hammond is ridiculous, because how he survived that, who knows, but he did, because that's Hammond.
Right up onto the high ground. Oh, it doesn't able
Is that Nano Tracer? It's OG again. OG's got another one.
Onto the high ground. Oh, it doesn't able to connect. Carpe though will get the recall off, staying alive.
We're on the wrong Tracer, Tito's. Why has OG got no camera?
that was a Hex Tracer play right there. An overblink as he was trying to come in, has to throw in the pulse bomb anyway. Prophet's able to take down.
Oh, very nice. You can see why Shortfall won the old Widowmaker duels. Nano Bastion on the point. There's no one there. Oh no. Oh, that feels rough. Oh, Bastion, no. Oh, Bastion. So someone asked the other day during, I think it might have been during coaching, I can't remember when it was asked, but it was a really good question. It's like, what do you think is the worst support, tank, and DPS at the moment? And yeah, Bastion. Bastion is probably the worst DPS in the game at the moment.
It's a newer version of Lunar Colony here. There's some trees out there now. Sometimes it goes like 0-1, and sometimes it goes 8-8.
Yeah, it will just go back.
I think OG is like actually playing his brains out at the moment. Striker's like, out fucking skilled, basically, just outplayed. But hey,
I know the moon's not a planet. Don't at me.
They're the fields, exactly. Nobody light a spark.
Those are questionably.
it amused me so much that I personally think that this is the Observers, by the way, having like, because Semler and Hex are just, they are gone at this point. They are talking about the moon not being a planet at this point. And so the spectator just goes on to Mickey for a second, goes off Mickey, and goes back to Mickey, because Mickey is spamming a voice line.
Those are questionably grown potatoes.
Could be a reference.
Just spamming get off the stage, which in a pro game I think is an amazing voice line to have equipped, first and foremost, but I like to think that this is intentional by the observation team. I would be very surprised if it isn't.
Who knows? Big Goose has a blade. That is what I know. Libero shuts off Mickey very early. Blade comes out anyway.
You can't be worse than Torb. Torb saw some actual play in pro-level Korean games. Like, it's close between the two, because Bastion technically came in with Pirate Ship, but I think Bastion is too gimmicky. Oh, Savio will be in trouble. Oh, no, Brigitte just bails him out. Low.
Defense from Atlantic, I like it. Get in there, apply the pressure, don't let up. You're still running without a tank. They're still running without a tank.
Also, with the defender's advantage, if you die out here, you're still going to get regular respawn times because they're not on points, and you're going to respawn faster. So you're going to get another fight. No need.
Like this, the fact that this is working is staggering. This does feel legitimately like one of those ranked games where it feels like the enemy team is trolling and everybody starts tilting. Right? I'm sure you've all played in these where it's like you look at the enemy team's lineup and it's like, guys, they are playing Bastion, Genji, Widow, Brig, Ana. We are playing like a normal, serious team comp here. How are we losing? How is this happening? And sure, okay, they're not technically playing like a super serious team comp because they're missing an off tank, but it's like, you know, how are we losing this? How is this happening to us? And the answer is, honestly, Atlantic, they're doing a really good job of just playing in the space that they've been given. Like, just look at the disengage that they take. Notice the Prophet staying out of line of sight, and it's almost like they use SabiLB as bait, right? Because SabiLB pulls back, stun comes through from one side, like you had Prophet here, you had Striker like over here on the brig, and so as people come through, they just get stunned in, and then just get killed. It's really actually nicely executed. Remember Ilio's Bastion? I remember the Volskaya Bastion. The Volskaya Bastion was spicy.
2 minutes 25 on the clock here, Hanks. They're starting to tie things up.
What's the best gimmicky hero? Sombra. Basically. Sombra's gimmick works. It's powerful enough that it's actually, like, highly influential. This is... Nano Blade is a pretty good combo, guys. Just the head shake.
Yep, I agree, Ceremonious death for SabiLB as the orb of life.
Put some clothes on, for the love of God, Widow.
Might be caught out here. Yep. Healing nade on him. Done. No chance to keep himself alive without a tank around. Bishu still running the ham, and we'll see where he decides to deploy the mines.
Bishu generally a tank.
Ooh, the old Flankerino. The Flankerino Deadeye. I love it. And then I love this. This felt like such, like, you know, yes, I've done it. I fooled them all. Ha! I didn't use my right click. Ha ha ha! Headshots on McCree are so powerful. Oh god, headshots on McCree are so powerful. Oh no,
Sick work. One of those shots had to be a headshot there to end him so quick. Still holding on to the
why is it the generalists outshine specialists?
And yep, just gonna try and cut off the spawn, make life more difficult here for the Atlantic.
It's because you can't hard counter a generalist, so I imagine what you're referring to there is stuff like, you know, why isn't Reaper used more as an anti-tank? And the answer is that you swap one or two heroes, and suddenly Reaper is useless. While McCree is at least sort of variable in his usage. You can use him in a number of different situations. It's not like you just swap him and then suddenly he's useless. We are entering towards a meta now, actually, just to like get serious for a second. We are entering into something that people are calling like the rock, paper, scissors meta, where there are team comps that beat, you know, it is like a very much an RPS situation where, you know, this beats, you know, this beats this beats this beats this. And so you're basically trying to figure out like what is the best general team comp that isn't going to like, that won't smash these team comps, but can at least go toe to toe with them somewhat. And people will generally like land on that. And this is why you generally see a lot of mirror comps, because this team comp in the middle that kind of is generally good against everything isn't going to be beaten by the enemy team going, oh, you're playing that? We just play this, and then we win. It does feel like this sort of circular team comp stuff is starting to become more prevalent, though, but that is also a facet of like people not knowing how Hammond is going to quite land. People are still figuring out all the Sombra stuff. But by the way, SabiLB, for shame, sir. For shame. Like, I'm going to press print screen here because just... wow. Nutty. So, yeah, it's mostly like a factor of, you know what, you can just swap your team. So if you are playing a very specific team comp, then you are just going to lose. And if hard counters get more and more numerous, so stuff like Brig becomes more numerous, then you're going to see more and more of this sort of very circular swapping stuff happening. Do you think it would make sense to buff Bastion's rocket jumping? Actually, no, I think it's fine. Bastion's pretty mobile
That would definitely turn things
when in tank form at the very least.
looking good. 20 seconds left.
This is a bold position for Mickey. Yeah.
Cryotherapy here, and he's not gonna like it.
No, that is not the cryotherapy we were promised. We wanted to freeze and wake up 200 years in the future.
But Joe Rogan said it was good for you.
Joe Rogan said a lot of stuff. Sleepy gets one big profit, will go down. And now
And somehow Atlantic Division won this almost like entirely without a tank. They did sort of pick them up towards the end, but
freezing on the point. That is a
man,
nasty combination.
like this Atlantic Division team kind of just rocked it here.
Those mines out, I like it, but he's getting frozen off the point, no less. Turning around, life's difficult, it's tough, it's rough. Big Goose going
This is where I imagine the producers were really worried because it's like, well, this is cute for all of like 2 seconds, and then it's just like, just finish the game, guys, please. We have a time to like, we have a schedule. Just please, you know, you got to play. There you go. Fines for everyone. It did annoy me a lot, by the way, because there was a lot of like, you know, there's a lot of smack talk being delivered in the talent show match, right? The build-up to the talent show match had a ton of smack talk. And people were like, oh, yeah, we want to see this in the regular season. And some people came out of the woodwork and were like, oh, well, XUC got banned because he smack talked and stuff like that. And it's like, you've equated some very different things happening here. And first of all, no one got banned for any smack talk, right? It's just... like the way that the casters delivered it is very different than, you know, using racial slurs or using slurs against minorities and stuff like that. Like it's
possibilities for antics here as well. I mean, control, there's gonna be a
it's being aware of what you're saying on a public stage and then sort of knowing what you can get away with and knowing that it's also all in good faith. The reason I think that a lot of players don't do smack talk though is because, and I think this was the really good point towards why players don't smack talk a huge amount, is because everybody at the moment pretty much, well, most teams were practicing in the studio itself. So if you actually go to the venue, you probably actually don't get to see this. So the venue is actually shaped like this, where you have like the main stage, all right, and you got your great big screen, and then like there's like a corridor system like towards the back of the building, right? There's this massive corridor, okay? And on that corridor, there's a ton of rooms. And in each of these rooms, there's like 14 computers. And that's where the teams were practicing. And it's all in one corridor. And so if you make a comment to someone, and you then meet them in the corridor, and it goes down wrong, then suddenly it's super awkward. And let's be honest, like, if you are the kind of person to become a pro player, if you're the kind of person that dedicates 14, 16, 17, 18 hours of their day to playing a video game all the time, you might not be the most social butterfly, you might not be the most socially graceful person. I mean, God knows I'm not the most socially graceful person, and I speak for a living at the moment. And it's like, it's very, very easy for these comments to land badly, and so people just generally go on the side of playing it safe and not making them. But, you know, moments like Fisher going, you know, oh, do you regret it? Like, stuff like that was like a highlight of the Overwatch League because it was so rare. Because people were so unwilling to just a little bit. You know, you don't have to, like, go all in. You don't have to go super hard on it. Most of the trash talk between the casters, I think, except for Mitch, like, Mitch went quite, you know, pretty heavy on it at some points, but even then, it's all taken in good faith. It's all taken is in an aura of like mutual respect, almost, of like, okay, well, we know that we can sort of trust each other and respect each other, so let's just go in on each other. It helps that the sort of the casting group, the talent group, are probably all friends with each other to some degree, so it goes down easier rather than just some player that you don't know, who, you know, you only sort of nodded at in a hallway. I would like to see more, and I think the argument that, oh, well, Blizzard just fine people, like, no. Blizzard don't fine people for trash talk. Blizzard haven't fined people, or apparently it doesn't seem to have stopped people from teabagging, you know? So, Okay, so Mooma has joined us, has graced us with his presence on the Atlantic Division, and is playing, The Sim. First and foremost, I just want to say that the moon now has a lovely Symmetra turret on it because it's just gone. And yet, Symmetra's left click, like, after making its charge slower, it just feels so bad to charge it. I think it's getting extra range. Did I read that in a patch note that Symmetra's left click's getting like 2 meters more? Might help a little bit. It's just because, like, to try and build it up against the barrier, you have to get so close to the barrier that you just die anyway. And then this is where I'm sad, and I think Hex comments on it at this point, which is like, you're on the point. Surely this is where you want to put some turrets down. Like, the turrets are actually pretty good now, so use them. It already got that? Okay. It doesn't seem to have made a difference. I still don't think Sim's very good. Just like, she's okay at medium range. She's really good if she builds up at close range, but she never really has a chance to. And otherwise, it's kind of ugh. Blech.
Well, you know, Fissure's figured it out. Much like Brigitte, the only counter to a Symmetra is a Symmetra of your own. So Fissure's going to be busted.
So this is where Mano just gives up on life. Somehow survives this. My God, that's crazy. Maybe they fixed the bug on this server, because it feels like the damage there didn't land properly. Like, this should be death, surely. No, he probably has the Lucio healing him. That might be why. Lucio could be picking him up. Because here's the thing, right, with sort of players at this level, is that they will actually be able to reliably protect if they have like a little bit of healing. Like the solo Winston, they can actually handle it with, like, you know, the Boop and Fury, or like the Boop and the Sleep Dart. They know how to sort of time this out and sort of control the Winston to minimize the landing damage as much as possible and keep people alive. And so yes, Fissure has now gone Symmetra himself. Just to throw chaos to, you know, just let slip the dogs of war, basically. Cry havoc. Why not? This is why Widowmaker is still good. That she kind of does this. It's like, how's this gonna go? Oh no. The trick to growing up is not suddenly becoming mature all the time, but knowing when you need to be mature and when you can be frivolous. There's a time and place for everything. I think it's just understanding that your intention is not... Intention is only a little bit of information that most people do not have. I remember reading, just to go completely on tangent, because this is descending into chaos, but have a life lesson. There was a great post I saw about a book idea that someone had, about the idea that you, as a person, you do not exist in the eyes of others. Right? You guys watching this at home have a perception of me that isn't really me, right? How I think of me is different to how you think of me, okay? And that's different for everybody I meet. Everyone I meet in my life, everyone thinks and regards me differently. The same thing for you, right? My perception of you is not probably the true you, but that's the perception I have of you. And so it's the idea, and this I think is the core to all maturity, is understanding that what you say and what you do can be interpreted wildly differently by a huge number of people. And the more people that you are dealing with at any one time, the more likely that misinterpretation is likely to happen. This is why when you are with a close circle of friends, you can make inappropriate jokes, because they are a close circle of friends. They know that you don't mean anything by it. There's no sort of chance that and there is a slight chance that they might take offense to it, but if they do, you can talk it out and hash it out and understand that there was no harm or no offense meant. But when you get into a public space, or when you're dealing with people that don't know you very well, then the chance of that misinterpretation increases massively. And so the biggest thing that I think you just got to be cognizant of is that when you make some sort of speech, or when you make some sort of presentation, or talk to someone, or, you know, do some trash talk to someone who doesn't know you, assume the worst case scenario is my general idea. Like, assume that they are going to take it wrong. And then go from there. So if they do take it wrong, how harmful is what I'm saying? How does it make me look to be saying this? Because if you go, oh my god, you're so trash, lol. Oh, it's just bants. Like, no, that's not bants, because you've just called someone trash. There's nothing bantery about that. There's nothing sort of funny about that. And so if you run on that sort of system, then yeah. Like, it's fine. If you know them a little bit, then you can sort of open up, and then you can do a little bit more, because they know that you don't mean super offense by it. I perceive you as Dr. Eggman. been foiled. That rascally hedgehog. Tactical crouching, I love it. Yeah, again, this Symmetra pick, like, I think I want to sort of take this opportunity and just highlight like all the things that I don't like about the Symmetra pick. It's like just the complete absence of any value. Wow. That close range Symmetra damage. So good. Oh yes, he's doing so much at the moment. He's really contributing to this team in a really big way. He's doing so much work. My god. He's built up half of an ultimate that's kind of okay. Oh, the value of the Symmetra here. Like, notice that Fisher has long abandoned it because it is just garbage. How did Anna get onto the roof? Which one? Completely missed which one she's on. Probably just knocked up by the Winston or something. Or by the Hammond. Low ground, low ground. Or if it's Mano, he teleported. So just for the short answer. Just is truly the value. So, okay, yeah, up there. Yeah, it's just a teleporter. So worth it. Truly the best reason to place him. Notice that Muma has abandoned the sim. If you want to play Symmetra, just be ready to be punching below your weight. Like, that's what I'll say. You are playing with a literal handicap at the moment. She is not good. She is not strong at the moment. And she's probably less noob stompy than she was before. Like, I think before she was more noob stompy. Because people couldn't deal with the left click. Now you actually need to be decent to use the left click, and so, blah. What are you saying about worse EPS? Yeah, it might actually be Sim. I want to see where Gigori got this much value, but unfortunately the camera doesn't show it. It's like, it's all the way over here. Actually, no, it looks like it's just in front of the point. No, they're just on the point. I mean, this is a really good point for them. Like, they pretty much cover the entire point. Hey, we get a replay. Rolls in, drops some mines. Just rolls right back into... Do you know... Okay, hopefully you guys are meme savvy enough to know, like, the what the fuck, boom! You know, that meme where it's like, it's generally edited into the back of things and there's, like, evil, you know, it's... Sure, I can find it on Google. On the old YouTubes. Right, it's this old dog of a meme where, okay, pause there. Okay, this, I don't know how loud this is going to be, but it's like, you know, you're watching Moomra and then it's just, it comes in and then it's just destroyed, you know, it's, yeah. From an old Minecraft, it's older than Minecraft. This is like, this is ancient memography. But yeah. It's older than 5 years. You gotta keep in mind, guys, I am 30, okay? I've been using the internet since I was like 14. Probably younger, actually, thinking on it. Like 13, 14? We're down to the time of Rage Comics. It might precede Rage Comics. This is like Weeble. Strong bad era of the internet.
Solid work, 1-0. Looking for the tie here, obviously, for the Pacific.
My memes were old when the world was young. Right. So all the marbles to play for now for land. Well, actually no, not all the marbles to play for. It's just still 0-1. We just were so long on that first map.
That the whole thing that you've been selling me on.
Something like that. They did sell out of maps.
So we're going to see Poco's May.
Whole underdog thing. So, a lot of people with disposable income.
Honestly, legit research. Legit research for Team UK. Let's snoop in on Poco's May. The reason why I say this is because on Control Center, May's getting picked up a little bit more on Li Jiang. It's an absolute pain in the ass to deal with. It's actually pretty strong.
Roll out. Figuring it out. I mean, there's some aggression coming in here from Atlantic, and it's looking like they'll get first control.
I don't personally see the May quite so much on this map. There's a lot of pathways through it, and people generally play dive or like very agile heroes on this map. So, not quite seeing the May myself, but you can spam right mouse buttons and kill people. And of course, it is a show match, so whatever. Lel.
Get on the White House. But that's, I mean, it would
I mean, it'll help against the Hammond, I guess. And Gigoru's been apparently a nightmare on that Hammond. Zumba wants to counter with a May of his own, taking a Devil May Care attitude to it.
Because regardless of how these teams are kind of messing around, both teams had a widow for a little bit.
I mean, it does like really stop Hammond up. Like, it doesn't kill Hammond super well, but it definitely like makes Hammond's life miserable. Gesture being a phenomenal widow. Like, no aim, no brain, put to bed once and for all.
I mean, we've seen Gesture play Widow in the past as well in officials. So, I mean, it's not exactly the first time that we've seen him on the Widow. He's got aim. Jayhawk,
This is an interesting thing, because like this looks like it's a terrain issue. Where you might expect, I think Jae-Hong might just be dead like the moment he gets here anyway. Like, just resetting here will probably be for the best, but it looks like he sort of slides down the terrain here. He doesn't actually like connect to this wall like you would expect him to.
you know, that was unfortunate. That was definitely unfortunate, pulling a bit of an SVD there.
Early on, one of the suggestions was the winning team of the talent takedown should have to play London, but London can't play any of their normal heroes. and someone had the audacity to be like, oh, that would be interesting. I'm like, are you kidding?
I like the close hold with the May. Like, you want him to fight through a doorway where possible, and Gesture is just slaying people. Reminder that there was a meme of no aim, no brain. I am a Winston main. This man is a Winston main. He is headshotting the shit out of people at the moment.
And there's even more infinitesimal fractions after that one.
Although he apparently missed the ruin, so lel.
Maybe they can get out of spawn.
Figure it
Pacific, rather. I'm sorry.
Oh, May ult.
There's a blizzard. We found
It's very pretty. Oh, here we go. The try-hard combo. Fisher. Oh god, I wish we had the flare cam. Oh, you just watch a man throw a mouse through a window at this point, just like, hello, hello. So on the opposite side of the coin of the no aim, no brain, we have Fisher. Oh god, I've just been praising Gesture and then Fisher does that. Oh good lord. Oh dear. Oh dearie dearie me.
Mano eventually does take down Geggery.
To quote one of the greatest moments of esports history, it's a disaster. Ah, and this is like poetry from Mano. Just speaking of tanks, just it's a Mano war clearly. Just love it. Beautiful shot.
That's not going to be for long because Fury's punching him in the face.
Mano's angle was great there. He was hitting everything. Goes the Atlantic Division up 2-1.
Yeah, I don't know how like Fisher perfectly missed May about 90 times, but hey, there we go.
Rissa's
Man of War, exactly.
as his road.
Combo. Hey, when?
Leeds.
It's the eternal.
I'm disappointed to see no Hog. There we go, Hog Risa. Beautiful.
All right, so we have a Roadhog, we have an Orisa, maybe a Diva would be good here, but they're also going to run a Lucio, of course. Here we go. Let's send some people.
Oh god, Fish just good lord. What look at the ultimate charge. Alright, just ignore everything, just focus on this number. Right? This number up here. I'm gonna make sure you can see it with my circle. Just watch this number. Good lord. Yeah.
Of despair.
And this is what I mean by like sleep dart isn't enough. He's going for him with a hammer. He wants it. He really wants it. But no, he's out. Oh, we know what Fury has a win condition here, ladies and gentlemen. He wants this kill. He wants a hammer kill on the Overwatch stage. Not happening for him just yet. Good lord, just got launched to the moon. That's why I love him. Yeah, it's so fun to just like slam people like that. I like this from Pacific where they're just like playing close. You got a ton of close range heroes. Let's just hold them. Just hold the door. And we have the Nano Torb. Oh, he wants it so badly, and no one, no mercy. The Fury, he has his sights set on a goal. Like, you've got to respect this man. He knows what he wants, and he's going for it. And Mano's enabling him. And yet they Nano Zumba, and Zumba just bombs him and breaks his little heart. The Nano Torbjorn. Just not quite there yet. So this is just to verify, because someone asked this yesterday, which is, you know, do you get the damage reduction? Yes, you do get the damage reduction. Even when anti-healed, you get the damage reduction. That's why Muma survives this. I always love seeing this, by the way. I love seeing stuff like just watching a Hammond, just like, you know, you can just hear, you know, the Green Hill Zone music, you know, as he just rolls on through. There he goes, and he's just gone. It's just he's having a blast. Oh, just this is why, like, I find this myself as well. Like, you get tempted to go for the sleep dart when he's like up here. I don't think it works. I honestly don't think it works when he's like mid pile driver. I don't think the sleep. I think he's like immune. Or, no, it misses, but it's so hard to hit this. It's way easier to hit him when he pops down to here because it like stuns himself, and you know that it's gonna land. So he's prepared to aim for this one. It takes some practice, but it's like ugh. Oh, Zumba. Oh, gets away with it as well. Just comes out. Whoop, 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 whoop. Oh no, maybe not. There we go, he's out. He wants it so badly. Come on, as you can see Zumba in it. I've got you in my sights. Rah, rah, no, Boko. Oh, you French monster. Gets it. He is. This is the happiest man on earth. Done. Mission accomplished. The man actually did it. Phew, he should just be emoting now. Just doing the Torbjorn like dance, like just going away at it. Like that's a win straight up for Atlantic. Surely, like the show match is done now. And look at Pacific Division, just still playing Overwatch like normal people. Surely the shame alone should have forced them to quit the server. It's glorious. It is glorious in the kill feed because it sticks out. Like, it's really, really like blatantly obvious when the hammer kill comes out. Because like the icon for it is so weird. It's like someone Captain Planet. It happened. Yes, that was the first one. Good stuff. And then the Pacific Division just like no fun allowed. We're just gonna play Reaper and run at people. It's okay though. It's okay. There's another Nano Torb perhaps on the sidelines. Of all win conditions, this is the greatest.
this stage, this map,
Oh, they've got into position as well. Where's the Nano Tourbillon? Oh no, it's the Beyblade! So, okay. So I know Beyblade is like an anime about spinning tops of all things. You know, it's an anime specifically to sell toys. But when I hear Beyblade, I don't think Beyblade. I think of this old Warhammer Dawn of War meme, which is it is the Baneblade, okay, which is an Imperial Guard tank that got memed to death, and all I can think is this voice line. It is the Baneblade. Right, that's all I can think of. Okay. It is the Baneblade! This was a bit more intense than I was expecting, but it's an old Warhammer meme, and that's all I can think when I hear. No, all I want to do is shout, "It is the Beyblade!" And like that's all I want. I know that a lot of the talent for Overwatch League are like Warhammer nerds themselves, so they probably get it. But I imagine it will fly over so many people's heads if you call out that it is the Beyblade. Oh. Right. Fleder's trying. He's looking for it. He wants the charge, but he's not going to get it. Also, I want to point out that Symmetra has once again graced us with her presence. It is about as short-lived as you expect. She's engaged for this final fight here on Ilios, and she has died instantly to a Deadeye. But Fury has got Molten Core. He's on the point. He is right-clicking away. In the Battle of the Builders, I think Tourbillon might be king. Maybe not. Amazing boop from Poco. And Meko helped definitely with that assist. There we go. I forgot about that one. Yeah, the Beyblade. The Baneblade. You filthy Imperial Guard player. He says, as a Dark Eldar player. So it's never used because no one's meant for greatness. Do I have the Game 5 here? Do we have Game 5? That's the full match of the All-Star game. There's Game 5. What does it mean to that? Because all of Dawn of War's voice lines are incredible. Like, the voice acting in Dawn of War is so utterly hammy and so utterly, like, over the top that people made tons of, like, YouTube poop around it, right? They made tons of these YouTube poop videos about Dawn of War, especially about Space Marines, Commander Borealis. The tactic is Steel Rain. Dawn of War playthrough. I haven't played the first Dawn of War. I played the shit out of Dawn of War 2 and all the expansions. Never played Dawn of War 1. I have it. Never played it. Yeah, Space Marines. Imperial Guard for everyone. Yeah, the Imperial Guard are just ugh. Two are so different to one. Yeah, I know that one is more of a regular RTS. One also has the Sisters of Battle, which are awesome. I really wanted to make at one point a Inquisition army. Or, like, I wanted to make an army of Black Templar and Sisters of Battle. Like, a mixed army of the two. Because the Black Templar lore got changed to actually work with that, which would be really cool. It'd be a really fun army. It's like flamers and swords, basically. If the Emperor has a text-to-speech device, I love that so much. You play 40k? I haven't in a long time. I know about 40k and I sort of follow some of the stuff that changes with it, but I don't have enough money to play it and no one to play it with. So I just have like the models and that'll be it. I don't know anyone who lives near me that would play it. Oh, risky from soon. So this game got played out anyway, just to contextualize what's happening here. This game got played out anyway, and it was for absolutely nothing. This is, again, just pure show matchness. And Pacific Division have decided that they are going to play nothing but supports to be as obnoxious as possible. You play the Space Marine shooter? Yes, I have. It's pretty fun. Like, it's not too deep, but Space Marine is a really fun game. And, you know, it gave rise to Space Marine! With the orcs. Just being orcs. Being all orky. Space Marine! Whoa!
Welcome to Overwatch, Monsilly.
You gits is mucking about.
I will travel across the globe to fight you with toy soldiers.
Thank you, Zelfano. I need to pay like 300 quid to get even a starting army, but apparently Dark Eldar are pretty good now. They got buffed in 8th, I heard. Like the Dark Eldar that I like the Cabals and the fighting cults are like way more cool now. The witch cults are actually good now instead of just playing homunculus stuff. So it'd be good to get back into it, and instead of just being like taxis for normal Eldar. Blah, blah. Ugh, regular Eldar. They hate fun. Incredibly expensive toy soldiers that you have to build and paint yourself. My mum never understood it. She never understood it. And it's like, wait, you pay like 20 quid for a box and you have to build it and paint it yourself. It's like, yeah. And then I spilt black paint all over her lovely white carpet, and that was just done. You don't get to paint in your room anymore. You have to put newspapers down everywhere because, oh dear, Chaos Black does not come out of carpet, let me tell you. Right, back to this. Pacific Division deciding that they want to... They're picking a strat and sticking to it, right? Because now they've gone all tanks. Atlantic Division, they're still playing... They still think they're playing Overwatch. Pacific Division, though, they've gone, you know what? We don't need supports. We need tanks. And unfortunately, Nanoblade just kind of goes, no. So, yeah. Relevant link is relevant. I'm somewhat worried to click it. Ah, yes. Space. Wow, Gamsu. Really? Really? I think space. Oh god, you just need like the Metal Gear Solid of like, you know, like that. You just dunk. Wee. Everyone's on alert now. Oh god. Oh lord. Hello. Oh bless. Oh no. Again, reminder that Bedosin is a Zenyatta player.
Monsilly.
Hey,
Not a
Veneta.
cheap hobby. I used to collect and paint game miniatures, but the problems is so few
Yeah,
opportunities
that's sort
to
of my
actually
issue.
play. Have to really find a good game shop with a dedicated play group.
Like, it might be nice just to have a couple, just to, like, have them and paint them, and I was sort of tempted to do that, but to, like, get good at painting, you'd have to practice it a lot, and then you'd have to have people to play with. And, like, I don't know anyone near me that will be able to sort of play 40k. So, I know that we're kind of gone off the rails here, but come on. They're playing just chaos. They actually gone to an all-team comp, but there's still some Metra involved. Like, throw me a freaking bone here. Yeah, I think at this point, we should probably call it quits, to be honest. Gamsu is the solid snake of Overwatch, clearly. Or is he the big boss? Or is he the Venom snake? Spoilers. There's so many snakes. Unfortunately, Jonek was riding and just blitzed everyone, clearly. I think we will wrap it here because I am starving. I am actually really, really hungry, and there's just nothing else here. So we're going completely off topic now. So thank you for watching to the end of at least this. There's nothing really more to be gained, but there are some little bits and pieces about various heroes to be gained through this. And like, I really enjoyed the show match. I really enjoyed the All-Star Weekend, probably a lot more than I thought I would, to be honest. And hopefully you guys did too. If you did, absolutely like hit up Blizzard, like the Play Overwatch or the Overwatch League account on Twitter and say like, oh man, yeah, All-Stars is great. Stuff like that really probably does help this stuff. Like, people read that stuff and it really does stick when people respond actively saying, hey, yeah, this was great. So yeah, absolutely, like, you know, thumbs up to Blizzard for a really good All-Star weekend. I think the only issue I have with it, I think, is that the talent show match kind of took over everything because the talent were just so good at putting it out there. But it kind of makes sense, and it was all fun at the end of the day. So hopefully you missed it. Hopefully you missed it. Sorry, I'm reading chat and speaking at the same time. Not a good idea. Hopefully you enjoyed a little bit of analysis, at the very least, that some of the things that the pros were doing with these varied heroes, and hopefully you've taken away that please do not play Symmetra in ranked. Go nuts in quick play. Enjoy it. But in ranked, No, no. All right, guys, thank you for watching to the end. Thank you for supporting the stream. Those of you who did, of course, it always makes a huge difference and really does help me out. So we have Venator Umbras, Delphanu, Magic Master P, Pose 73, Komorowski, Darth, and earlier on today as well, Paul Denton 666. Oh, Paul, I always try and make sure that you survive whenever I play Deus Ex. Something I need to still play on stream at some point. We'll probably do either Bioshock or something soon. I'm very tempted to do like the Bioshock series. So that'll be Bioshock, Bioshock 2, and then Bioshock Infinite when the season ends. Sounds like a good idea? Sounds like a good idea. Alright guys, thank you for watching to the end. I'll see you next time. Toodles. Music. Oh, I know what I want to do for music. There's only one thing that I can really do.
Commander Oriel, enemy forces in our perimeter. There is no time to be lost.